Hello there, and welcome to Deep Sleep Science. I'm so glad you found your way here. Take a moment now to settle into the softness of wherever you are resting. Let your shoulders fall like leaves drifting from a quiet tree. Let the tension of the day melt slowly, the way frost melts at the first warm touch of morning. There is nothing more for you to do tonight. Nothing to chase. Nothing to solve. Only this gentle moment, holding you like a velvet hand placed kindly upon your chest. Outside your window, the sky is wide and patient. Somewhere far above the rooftops and the sleeping trees, the stars are turning slowly in their ancient, silent dance, and the planets drift like glass beads on invisible silver threads. Tonight, we will travel together through the soft hush of our solar system. We will float past pale moons and amber rings, past worlds dressed in lavender clouds, past oceans of frozen dust and gardens of slow, glittering light. Each fact will be a soft pillow placed gently beneath your thoughts. Each small story, a slow lullaby. There is no need to remember anything. There is no need to follow closely. Let the words wash over you like a warm tide rolling onto a sleeping shore, the foam dissolving before it reaches you. If your eyes wish to close, let them close. If your thoughts wish to wander, let them wander into the dark blue meadows of dream. If this gentle voyage helps you drift away tonight, you might leave a quiet like upon this video, or follow our slow channel by subscribing. It costs nothing, and it helps these soft journeys find others who are searching for stillness, just as you did. And now, with your breath slowing, with your body softening, with the room around you growing dim and tender, let us begin this slow and soothing journey across the quiet wonders of our solar system. Imagine, for a moment, that you are floating gently upward, weightless as breath upon a feather. The ceiling above you melts away like morning mist, and the night sky opens its long, dark arms to welcome you. You drift slowly past the sleeping clouds, past the soft glow of the moon, past the silver veils of starlight that hang in the deep velvet hush. Below you, the earth turns slowly, patient and blue. Around you, the planets begin their old, slow waltz. And here, suspended in the tender quiet of space, our soft journey begins. At the very heart of our solar system rests the sun, a great golden lantern hung gently in the deep blue silence of space. It glows softly tonight, as it has glowed for billions upon billions of slow, patient years, pouring its warm honey light across the sleeping worlds. Imagine it now, breathing gently, a vast and tender flame older than human memory itself. Its surface ripples like a slow ocean of liquid amber, with whispers of golden mist rising and falling in soft tides that no human ear could ever hear. The sun is not loud. It is not hurried. It simply shines, the way a candle shines beside a sleeping child, steady and warm and endlessly kind. And every flower that has ever bloomed, every leaf that has ever turned toward morning, every quiet dream that has ever been dreamed has been gently fed by its eternal warmth tonight. The sun was born long before the first whisper of human history. Some 4.5 billion years ago, it began as a soft cloud of dust and quiet hydrogen, drifting slowly through the dark, like a sleeping seed waiting for its season. Over countless ages, the cloud gathered itself in toward its own center, gentle as a tide returning to a moonlit shore. And in that quiet gathering, it kindled into light. Imagine the patience of such a slow becoming, longer than every river, every mountain, every memory ever carried by living things. The sun has watched dinosaurs dream beneath ancient ferns. It has watched glaciers carve their slow songs into stone. It has watched every sunrise that has ever spilled across an ocean. And tonight, it watches over you too, with the same warm, unhurried tenderness it has carried for nearly 5 billion long, patient, quiet years. The sun is so vast that all the planets, moons, comets, and quiet drifting stones of our solar system together hold barely a whisper of its weight. More than 99 of every 100 grains of matter in our cosmic neighborhood belong to the Sun alone. Imagine pouring all of Earth, all of mighty Jupiter, all the rings of Saturn and the icy fields beyond Neptune into a single glittering bowl. Even then, the Sun would still rest beside it, like a great peaceful giant beside a small handful of pebbles. Yet, for all its immensity, the Sun carries its weight gently, the way a soft mountain carries 1,000 sleeping forests. Nothing strains, nothing rushes. The planets glide around it like petals around a quiet pond, held by a love older than time, drawn endlessly inward by the slow and tender gravity of its kind and golden, ever-glowing heart tonight. Though we often picture the Sun as a deep, warm yellow, its true color is something softer, something closer to a quiet, milky white. The yellow tones we see are gifts from our own atmosphere, painted gently across the sky as the light slips through layers of soft blue air. If you were to drift far above our world, beyond the gauze of clouds, the Sun would appear to you like a great pearl resting in a pool of dark velvet, glowing with a calm, pure light. It would shine the color of fresh cream, the color of moonlit silk, the color of the first soft breath of dawn, and all the colors of a rainbow are folded gently inside that white, sleeping together like petals inside a closed flower, waiting only for raindrops or rising mist to set them dancing across the wide, quiet sky. From the Sun, a soft and endless breath flows outward into the great quiet of space. Astronomers call it the solar wind, but it is not a wind in the way that rustles leaves or stirs curtains. It is a slow river of tiny glowing particles, drifting outward in every direction like dandelion seeds released by a gentle hand. This silent breath travels for years, brushing past the planets, weaving through the rings of Saturn, drifting beyond the cold blue edges of Neptune. When it touches the magnetic veil around our Earth, it paints the polar skies with shimmering curtains of green and violet light, the soft auroras that dance above sleeping snowfields. So even now, far above the rooftops, the Sun is gently breathing across the cosmos, and its long, slow exhale is brushing softly against the dreaming edges of our world. Around the Sun there floats a delicate veil called the corona, a soft halo of light that becomes visible only in the rare, hushed moments of a total eclipse. It is the Sun's outermost gown, woven of pale silver fire, drifting outward into space like the slow breath of a sleeping creature. During an eclipse, when the moon glides quietly in front of the Sun, the world below grows still. Birds tuck their heads beneath their wings. The wind softens. And there, in the tender twilight of midday, the corona appears, a ring of pale, glowing lace, shining in the darkened sky like a moonflower opening at midnight. It is a sight so quiet, so otherworldly, that those who see it often whisper, "The Sun," for that brief, sacred hush, lifts a soft veil and shows us the gentle ghost of its own breath. Sometimes, on the bright face of the Sun, there appear soft shadows called sunspots, dark and gentle as ink drops on a sheet of warm parchment. They are cooler regions where the Sun's invisible magnetic threads have woven themselves into knots, slowing the flow of golden fire below. From far away, they look like sleeping islands floating on a sea of light, slow-moving freckles upon a peaceful, glowing face. Some sunspots are larger than our entire Earth, yet they drift quietly across the Sun's surface, fading after days or weeks like clouds dissolving into evening sky. They have been watched by gentle eyes for thousands of years, by old astronomers leaning over polished stones, by monks tracing them through smoked glass, by children peering through pinhole shadows on summer afternoons. And tonight, those quiet freckles still drift slowly across the Sun's warm and patient face. The Sun's surface holds a warmth so vast that it is almost difficult to imagine. Yet the words we need are not numbers tonight, but pictures. Picture a sea of glowing honey, stretching to every horizon, gently bubbling with warm, slow movement. Picture mountains of soft golden flame, rising and falling in quiet rhythm, like waves that take an hour to crest. The light born here travels for 8 slow minutes through the dark before it reaches your skin, your window, the soft petals of a sleeping flower. So when you stand in sunlight, the warmth touching you is already an old, gentle traveler, having journeyed through the silence of space to find you. Tonight, even the moonlight glowing softly through your window is sunlight in disguise, bouncing tenderly off the moon's pale face, reaching you like a quiet, second-hand whisper. Closest of all to the warm sun drifts a small, quiet world called Mercury, no larger than the slow shadow of a sleeping continent. Of all the planets, it is the smallest and the swiftest, gliding in a tight, gentle circle around the sun like a moth circling a soft golden lantern. Yet despite its closeness to such warmth, Mercury is a strange and silent place, a world of bare grey plains, of long shadows pooled in ancient hollows, of starlight reaching down into deep, cold valleys where sunlight has never wandered. There are no oceans here, no whispering trees, no clouds drifting in slow procession, only stillness, only stone, only the steady, glittering hush of a small world turning patiently in the dark. And tonight, in the deep silence of space, little Mercury still circles the sun in its quiet, ancient, faithful dance. A single day on Mercury is unlike anything dreamed by Earth. There, one slow day, from sunrise to sunrise, lasts nearly 176 of our Earth days. Imagine the sun rising so gently, it seems to barely move, hanging in the soft, dark sky like a glowing lantern that has fallen asleep. Hours pass, then weeks, then months, and still the sun drifts only a little farther across the grey Mercurian plains. To stand on Mercury would be to know a stillness almost beyond imagining, a slowness so deep that time itself seems to be resting. Even the shadows move at the pace of a tortoise wandering through a quiet meadow. And then, after long, dreamlike stretches, the sun finally sets, and a long, soft night begins, slower than any night you have ever known, beneath the gentle stars of home. The face of Mercury is gently freckled with countless craters, soft, round bowls left long ago by the patient kisses of wandering stones. Each crater is a quiet memory, a place where, billions of years ago, an ancient meteor settled gently into the grey dust. The largest of them is called the Caloris Basin, a vast, round plain wide enough to hold many earthly nations. It rests on Mercury's surface like a great shallow dish carved into pale stone, ringed by soft, low mountains that catch the long, slanting light of dawn. From space, Mercury looks a little like our own moon, dimpled and quiet, a small grey world wearing the gentle scars of a long and peaceful history. Each crater holds its own pool of patient shadow, waiting silently for the slow turning of another long, quiet, undisturbed Mercurian day. Mercury wears the thinnest of veils, an atmosphere so soft it can barely be called one at all. Where Earth is wrapped in a great quilt of warm, breathable air, Mercury holds only a faint whisper of gas, a delicate exhalation gently coaxed out of its rocks by the touch of sunlight. There are no clouds here, no rain, no winds humming through valleys. The sky above Mercury is forever black, even at noon, scattered with steady, unblinking stars that do not twinkle, for there is no air to make them shimmer. To stand on Mercury would be to look up and see the sun blazing softly within a deep, starlit night, both day and evening folded gently together at once. It is a strange and beautiful quietness, a world holding its breath beneath an ancient, jeweled, eternally patient sky. Beyond Mercury drifts Venus, our nearest planetary neighbor, a soft golden world wrapped in cloud. From far away, Venus shines as the brightest jewel in our morning and evening skies, sometimes called the morning star, sometimes the evening star. It glows so warmly that ancient people named it after goddesses of beauty, light, and gentle love. When the day is fading, Venus appears low in the west, glowing tenderly above the rooftops, a small lantern that arrives before the stars do. When the dawn is rising, it greets the world early, hanging in the eastern sky like a soft pearl resting on a velvet cushion. Even in the busiest of cities where many stars are hidden by lamplight, Venus still shines through, calm and patient, an old companion whispering goodnight to every quiet window facing the long, sleeping horizon. Although Venus glows beautifully from a distance, beneath its soft golden glow rests a world wrapped in thick, slow-moving clouds. These clouds are not made of cool water like the gentle clouds of Earth. They are pale, golden veils of sulfur, drifting in slow, dreamlike layers around the planet. From above, Venus looks like a perfect, smooth pearl, polished and gentle, with no continents visible, no oceans reflected, only the quiet swirl of its endless cloud cover. Imagine standing high above Venus, watching the soft cloud tops drift in slow rivers of cream and amber, painted faintly by sunlight. From within those clouds, the world below would be hidden in a long golden hush, where the sky is forever soft and dim. Venus is a planet wearing a long, glowing gown of cloud, turning slowly through the dark, hushed quiet of deep and patient space. On Venus, a single day is longer than a single year. The planet turns so slowly upon itself that it takes about 243 of our Earth days for one quiet rotation, while it circles the Sun in only 225. Imagine that. A sunrise that arrives only after a journey around the Sun has been completed. On Venus, the Sun would seem barely to move, tracing a slow, dreamy arc across the high cloud ceiling. And stranger still, Venus turns the opposite way from most planets. So on Venus the Sun would rise in the west and gently set in the east. It is a world of slow, reversed dreams, where everything moves with the patience of melting honey, where time itself unfolds like a quiet, drifting petal upon a long, hushed, golden, slowly turning lake. Venus is sometimes called Earth's twin, for its size and shape are almost the same as our own. Yet the two worlds have followed very different stories. Earth blossomed into oceans and forests, while Venus settled into a slow, golden hush wrapped in heavy cloud. Still, when you look up at Venus shining softly above the rooftops, it is comforting to know that a sister world is drifting there, neither too far nor too cold, simply turning quietly through the vast dark sea of space. Some scientists believe that long ago, Venus may have held shallow oceans and gentle weather before its slow transformation into the cloud-wrapped world we see now. So Venus is a story of an old, sleeping ocean, a memory of softer days, glowing patiently beside us in the deep, hushed velvet of the long, sleeping evening sky. And then, of course, there is Earth, our own quiet home, a soft blue jewel turning slowly through the gentle dark. From space it appears as a glowing marble of swirling cloud and deep ocean blue, with delicate brushstrokes of green where forests breathe, and soft browns where mountains rest beneath drifting weather. There is no other world quite like it in all the patient solar system. Earth holds oceans you can swim in. It holds rivers that murmur over warm pebbles. It holds meadows where small flowers nod at evening, and forests filled with the slow songs of summer rain. Tonight, somewhere on this gentle world, dolphins are sleeping just beneath the waves. Owls are gliding softly between dark trees, and you, dear listener, are resting peacefully here, held safe upon the slowly turning back of a great and tender deep blue living planet. Wrapped in a soft silver light, Earth's moon drifts beside us through the quiet of space. She has been our companion for billions upon billions of years, watching over our oceans, lifting them gently into tides, painting our nights with calm, pearl-colored beauty. Born long ago, perhaps when a smaller world drifted softly into the young Earth, the moon settled into orbit like a small lantern beside a glowing hearth. Tonight, if you look softly at the sky, you might see her there, glowing as she always has, a quiet circle of pale, gentle silver. The moon has watched the rise and fall of every kingdom, the bloom of every flower, the breath of every sleeping creature beneath her steady gaze. She has always been there, faithful as a soft lullaby, hanging tenderly in the long, hushed evening sky of home. The moon's gentle pull weaves the slow, ancient music of our oceans. Twice each day, the seas of Earth rise and fall in answer to her quiet gravity, swelling toward her in long, smooth tides, then settling back like a deep, sleeping breath. Imagine the entire ocean lifting softly toward the moon as she passes overhead, a great blue blanket gently drawn upward, then released. Wherever the tide rolls in, small crabs shuffle home into wet sand, sea grasses sway, and tide pools fill with shimmering water and tiny silver fish. Wherever it rolls out, polished pebbles glisten in the open air, and seabirds wander slowly across the cool, exposed sand. So the moon hums her invisible song to the oceans, and the oceans in turn sing their long, low lullaby back all night long beneath the watchful, glowing sky. There is a side of the moon we never see from Earth, a quiet half always turned away. The moon spins upon itself at exactly the same pace as it circles us. So the same gentle face is always tilted softly toward our sky. Long ago, this hidden side was called the dark side, but it is not dark at all. It receives the same sunlight as the side we know, only its glow is hidden from our view. There, soft mountains rise in long ridges. Vast, quiet plains lie sleeping beneath a black, starry sky. Craters drift in still rows, like small bowls of silver dust. It is a hushed and untouched landscape, glowing peacefully in starlight, dreaming alone on the far side of our companion. And tonight, just as always, that hidden face is shining gently into the deep, quiet sea of stars. Beyond Earth drifts Mars, the soft red planet, glowing quietly in the night sky like a small warm ember. Its color comes from gentle iron resting in its dust, a slow rusted soil that paints the entire planet in shades of cinnamon and rose. Mars is a smaller world than Earth, with mountains that rise gracefully and valleys that dip into long, sleeping shadows. Its skies are dusted with pale pink during the day, and at sunset they glow a soft, dreamy blue, a quiet mirror of our own gentle skies. There is no rain on Mars, no rivers running, no whispering forests, yet Mars holds polar caps of frozen white, ancient riverbeds carved long ago, and a stillness so deep it feels almost holy. Tonight Mars drifts on, a small, glowing pebble of warm, dreaming light, settled gently into the velvet hush of space. Around Mars circle two small, quiet moons, named Phobos and Deimos, the soft companions of the red planet. They are not round and full like our own moon. Instead, they look more like gentle, drifting potatoes of stone, small and rough, perhaps long ago drawn in from the wide asteroid belt nearby. Phobos is the larger of the two, gliding so close to Mars that it crosses the Martian sky 3 times in a single Martian day, a small, swift moon racing softly across the sunset. Deimos is tinier still, drifting farther out, moving so gently that it seems almost to hover in the dim sky like a sleepy little lantern. To stand on Mars would be to watch these 2 small moons rise and set in slow, dream-like rhythm, glowing softly above a horizon painted in the warm dust of evening. On Mars stands the tallest mountain in our entire solar system, a vast, sleeping volcano named Olympus Mons. It rises slowly from the Martian plains, so wide and gentle that if you stood upon it, you might not even feel that you were on a mountain at all. From base to summit, it climbs nearly 3 times higher than the loftiest peak on Earth. Yet its slopes are so soft, so gradual, that it looks more like a great, slow swell of land than a sharp summit. Imagine a hill so wide it could cover whole countries, glowing softly in the pale light of a Martian morning, dressed in red dust and quiet shadow. Olympus Mons has not stirred in many millions of years. It rests now, peaceful and immense, a sleeping giant, breathing gently beneath the deep, dusty, eternally watchful. Martian sky. Across the wide plains of Mars, the wind sometimes lifts up vast, soft veils of fine red dust, painting the sky with a gentle, glowing haze. These dust storms can grow until they wrap themselves around the entire planet, hiding mountains, valleys, and quiet craters beneath a long, copper-colored hush. Yet even in their largest form, Martian winds are softer than the breezes that ruffle a curtain on a sleepy summer afternoon, for the air on Mars is thin and gentle. The dust drifts slowly, almost dreamily swirling in long, lazy curls before settling once again upon the cold, quiet ground. After a great storm passes, Mars is left freshly painted in soft tones of rust and rose, like a sleeping creature curled beneath a warm blanket of sunset. And then, all is still once more beneath the patient, watching ancient stars. Far beyond Mars, in the long quiet between worlds, drifts the asteroid belt, a slow river of small, sleeping stones. There are millions of them, perhaps billions, ranging from tiny pebbles no larger than a pine cone to small worlds nearly the size of mountains. Yet despite their great number, the asteroid belt is mostly empty, soft, and silent. The stones drift so far apart that a spacecraft could glide gently through the entire belt and meet only stillness, only stars, only the slow turning of pale rocks in the patient dark. Some asteroids are smooth and round, polished by ages of slow tumbling. Others are jagged, ancient, and quiet. Together they wander in a wide, slow ring around the sun, a hushed gathering of small wandering stones, drifting like sleeping fish in a vast, dark, eternally peaceful, glittering cosmic sea. Among the wandering stones of the asteroid belt rests one quiet little world named Ceres, the largest of them all, soft and round as a sleeping pearl. Long ago, Ceres was thought to be a planet, then later a humble asteroid, and now she is gently called a dwarf planet, a small, dignified world circling slowly in the great hushed ring between Mars and Jupiter. Her surface is dusted with pale clays and quiet salts, and in some hidden places, scientists believe she holds soft pockets of ancient sleeping water, frozen like glass beneath her gentle crust. There are bright spots on Ceres, glittering softly like patches of moonlit snow upon a darker plain. To imagine Ceres is to imagine a small, round, quiet world, drifting peacefully among her stone companions, glowing tenderly in the long, slow hush of the wide and empty deep. Beyond the soft river of asteroids drifts the great, gentle giant Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system. He glows in soft bands of cream, amber, and tender ivory, as though wrapped in long, slow ribbons of warm tea poured into milk. From far away, Jupiter looks like a great striped pearl, immense and patient, turning slowly in the dark. He is so vast that more than 1,000 Earths could nestle gently inside him, and still there would be soft, quiet space to spare. Yet for all his size, Jupiter carries himself with a slow, dreamy grace, his banded clouds drifting in long, peaceful currents across his face. He has watched over the inner planets for billions of years like a great, soft-eyed shepherd, glowing in his pale gowns of cloud, drifting tranquilly through the deep, hushed velvet of space. Upon Jupiter's gentle face, there glows a soft, drifting storm called the Great Red Spot, a slow whirl of cloud larger than our entire Earth. It has been turning quietly for at least 300 or 400 years, perhaps far longer, a long sigh in the heart of the great planet. From far away, it looks like a single calm rose pinned to a robe of cream and gold. Within the storm, gentle winds curl in slow spirals, painted in shades of soft cinnamon and tender peach. There is no thunder there that we could hear, no rain that we could feel. Only a long, dreaming swirl, drifting through the Jovian sky for centuries beyond memory. Tonight, as you rest, the great red spot continues its slow, ancient turning, a quiet rose blooming forever upon the soft, glowing breast of mighty Jupiter, Around Jupiter swirl the soft music of his many moons. More than 90 of them at last, gentle count, glittering like quiet pearls scattered upon a deep velvet cloth. Some are tiny, no larger than small mountain peaks. Others are vast worlds in their own right, some larger even than Mercury itself. Each moon follows its own slow, dreamy path around the great planet, woven together in long, gentle orbits. From Jupiter, if one could stand upon his cloud tops, the sky would be filled with these small, drifting companions, rising and setting in slow, complicated harmony. There would be moons crossing in front of moons, soft shadows sliding across cloud bands, and whispers of pale light dancing across the great striped face of the planet. Jupiter's family is a great quiet ballet, turning slowly through the deep, hushed, eternally patient evening of space. Among Jupiter's many moons, 4 shine especially bright in the soft hush of imagination: Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, the great Galilean moons. They were first seen by an old astronomer 4 centuries ago, peering through a small handmade telescope on quiet Italian evenings. Io glows in tender shades of yellow and orange, dappled with soft volcanoes. Europa shines like a polished egg of pale ice, smooth as moonlit glass. Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system, a gentle world of stone and frozen water. And Callisto is a grey, ancient moon, dimpled all over with soft, sleeping craters. Together, they drift around Jupiter like 4 glowing lanterns held by an unseen, careful hand, turning slowly through the dark, hushed evening sky. Faithful companions to the great, gentle giant they have circled for billions of patient years. Of all Jupiter's moons, Europa is perhaps the most tenderly mysterious. She is wrapped in a smooth shell of pale ice, polished and bright as a frozen pond beneath a winter moon. Long, soft cracks run across her surface like delicate brushstrokes, marking where her gentle crust has shifted slowly over countless ages. And beneath that quiet shell, scientists believe a deep, hidden ocean rests, a salt sea darker and older than any ocean of Earth, perhaps holding more water than all our seas combined. Imagine that quiet, sleeping sea, hushed beneath miles of icy roof, gently warmed from below by the soft heart of the moon. Europa drifts on, dreaming of her hidden waters, gleaming pale in the dim Jovian sunlight, a small frozen pearl with a quiet ocean cradled tenderly inside her, turning slowly through the great, glowing dark. Far beyond Jupiter glides Saturn, perhaps the most quietly beautiful of all the planets, dressed in his soft golden robes and crowned with rings as gentle as woven mist. From a great distance, Saturn looks like a pale, honey-colored bead floating upon a dark velvet cushion, with a wide silver halo wrapped softly around him. He is the second largest of the planets, almost as vast as Jupiter, yet so light that, if there were an ocean wide enough, he could float upon it like a great, slow bubble. He turns peacefully through the deep dark, his clouds drifting in long, slow bands of cream and tender gold. Saturn has watched countless generations of stars rise and dim. He has seen comets pass and meteors flicker. And tonight, as always, he drifts onward, calm, glowing, and gently regal in the patient, infinite hush of space. Saturn's rings are perhaps the most beloved sight in our solar system. Soft, glowing bands of light wrapped gracefully around the planet's pale, golden body. From afar, they look like a long, smooth halo, a single shining circle. Yet up close, the rings are made of countless small pieces of bright, dancing ice, ranging from tiny grains no larger than dust to chunks the size of small houses. They drift together in long, gentle streams, polished by sunlight into 1,000 subtle shades of cream white and faint rose gold. Imagine a great quiet snowfall, suspended forever in slow motion, circling a glowing world. The rings are wide but extraordinarily thin, like a vast veil of silk laid softly across the dark. They turn slowly, beautifully, eternally, a glowing ribbon of frozen lace settled tenderly around their patient and beloved planet. Although Saturn is most famous for his rings, all 4 of the great outer planets quietly wear rings of their own. Jupiter has soft, dim rings, almost too faint to see. Uranus is wrapped in narrow, dark rings, slim as fine pencil lines drawn around a pale blue marble. Neptune wears thin, gentle arcs of dust, like the faintest brushstrokes of cloud, yet Saturn's rings shine the brightest, the widest, the most lovingly visible. He is the king of the ringed worlds, but he is not the only one wearing such gentle jewelry. Imagine a quiet family portrait of the four great gas giants, each one softly haloed in its own quiet ring, gleaming peacefully in the long evening of space. Tonight, all four turn together, each wrapped in its own soft circle, turning slowly through the dark, sleepy, jeweled, hushed cosmic sky. Around Saturn drifts a great family of gentle moons, more than 140 of them at last quiet count. Among them, the most famous is Titan, a soft and dreamy world larger than the planet Mercury itself. Titan is the only moon in the solar system known to wear a thick, golden atmosphere, a soft veil of orange haze that wraps around her like an antique scarf. Beneath that haze, Titan holds rivers and lakes, but they are not lakes of water. They are slow, quiet pools of liquid methane, glistening softly under a pale, distant sun. Imagine standing upon Titan, gazing across an amber sea beneath a soft, smoke-colored sky with the great rings of Saturn arching gently overhead. Titan is a strange and lovely place, quietly dreaming far beyond Earth, drifting slowly in her soft golden gown of mysterious quiet far-off cloud. Among Saturn's softer companions glides little Enceladus, a small, glowing moon polished like a smooth pearl of clean white ice. Her surface is so bright that she reflects nearly all the sunlight that touches her, glowing tenderly in the dark, hushed hush of space. Beneath her shining crust rests another quiet ocean, gentle and warm, kept liquid by the soft kneading of Saturn's gravity. From cracks near her southern pole, soft plumes of icy mist drift gracefully into space, like quiet steam rising from a covered cup of tea on a cold morning. Some of that gentle mist drifts outward and joins one of Saturn's outer rings, painting it with delicate frost. Imagine that. A small moon breathing gently into the rings of her parent planet, weaving her own soft contribution to that great, glowing, eternal, glittering, cosmic, quiet halo of frozen lace. Beyond Saturn drifts pale Uranus, a quiet, dreamy world wrapped in soft tones of mint green and gentle blue. He is the seventh planet from the Sun, an ice giant much larger than Earth, yet much smaller than mighty Jupiter or Saturn. His clouds are made of soft, slow-moving methane, which paints him in tender shades of seafoam and pale aquamarine, like a marble of glass held up to soft afternoon light. Uranus turns calmly in the long, hushed dark, far enough from the sun that the light reaching him is faint and gentle, like the light from a single candle in a vast, quiet room. He has been watched by human eyes only for the last few centuries, a relatively new acquaintance among the planets. And tonight, as always, Uranus drifts slowly onward, a soft, glowing pearl in the deep cosmic hush. Uranus is quite unusual, for he tilts upon his side like a gentle barrel rolling slowly through space. While other planets spin upright, Uranus seems to lie down to rest, his axis tipped almost 90 degrees. This means that his seasons are unlike anything we know on Earth. For decades, his northern pole faces the distant sun, basking in long, dim summer light. Then, slowly, over many quiet years, the planet rolls along, and the southern pole takes its turn. Each season on Uranus lasts about 20 Earth years, slow and dreamlike, longer than many human lifetimes. Imagine a planet so unhurried, where summer lingers for 2 decades, where seasons unfold like long, slow chapters of a softly read story. Uranus is gentle, sideways, and patient, a quiet ice giant drifting peacefully through the great, dim, slowly turning evening of space. Around Uranus circle his soft, quiet moons, named after gentle characters from old plays and poems. Miranda, Ariel, Umbriel, Titania, and Oberon, among many smaller ones. They are small, icy worlds, glittering in pale shades of grey and dim silver, drifting in slow, faithful orbits around their tilted parent. Miranda, the smallest of the major moons, has a strange and lovely landscape, with high cliffs and patchwork plains, as if her surface had been gently stitched together by some quiet ancient hand. Each moon turns slowly, softly, painting the dim Uranian sky with their slow procession. They have been gliding around their planet for billions of years, untouched, undisturbed, forever circling. Tonight, in the great hushed dark beyond all the ordinary worlds, those small icy moons still drift gently around tilted Uranus, faithful and slow, like quiet, sleeping lanterns. Far out at the edge of the planetary family glides Neptune, the deep blue ice giant, the eighth and farthest of the major planets. He is wrapped in soft sapphire clouds, glowing with a deep, dreamy blue that feels like the color of a quiet ocean at twilight. From space, Neptune looks like a great velvet marble, smooth and dark, painted in long, swirling patterns of indigo and gentle white. He is so distant from the sun that sunlight reaches him only as a soft, pale glow, far dimmer than the bright daylight we know on Earth. Yet even in that gentle dimness, Neptune shines tenderly, a deep blue jewel resting at the far edge of our solar neighborhood. Tonight, as always, he drifts onward in his great, slow orbit, dreaming softly in the deep, dark, eternally peaceful hush of the outer evening sky. Although Neptune lies very far from the sun, his soft skies hold the strongest winds in the entire solar system, drifting in long, slow, supersonic streams. Yet from a quiet distance, even those winds seem peaceful, their swirling clouds tracing soft patterns across the blue planet's face. Sometimes, vast oval storms appear in his clouds, like dark blue spots resting on a deeper blue ocean. They drift across his face for a while, then slowly fade away, dissolving like frost upon a sleeping window pane. Neptune's storms are old and quiet, born and unborn in the long, patient turning of the centuries. To imagine them is to imagine a great, soft, blue-domed dream, where slow winds whisper through endless clouds and gentle storms come and go, like the long, slow breathing of a deep, sleeping sea, far beyond the warmth of the sun. Among Neptune's quiet moons drifts strange and lovely Triton, a frozen world glowing in soft pinks and pale blues. Triton is unusual, for she circles Neptune in the opposite direction of the planet's spin, as though long ago she was gently captured from elsewhere, drawn into Neptune's family by a quiet pull of gravity. Her surface is wrinkled with soft ridges and gentle plains, and from her cold ground rise tiny geysers of nitrogen, drifting upward in slow, ghostly plumes. She is one of the coldest places in our solar system, yet she glows tenderly in the dim sunlight, a small pink pearl wrapped in a thin, hushed atmosphere. Imagine standing on Triton, looking up to see the great blue face of Neptune filling the sky, while soft geysers rise quietly around you in the stillness of the gentle, dim, dreaming evening. Beyond Neptune begins the wide, quiet realm of the outer solar system, a long, dim region called the Kuiper Belt. It is a great soft ring of frozen worlds drifting in slow, peaceful orbits around the distant sun. There are countless small, icy bodies here, some no larger than mountains, others nearly as wide as small countries. Among them rests Pluto, once called the ninth planet, now known as a dwarf planet, a small, cold world crowned with quiet majesty. The Kuiper Belt is so far from the sun that sunlight reaches it only as a soft, distant glow, like the faint glimmer of a candle seen through deep fog. Yet even there, in the long, patient dark, countless little worlds drift in their slow, ancient dance, painting the far edge of our solar neighborhood with their gentle, glittering, frozen, glowing presence. Sweet little Pluto drifts at the edge of the warm sun's reach, a small, pale world wrapped in a heart-shaped plain of nitrogen ice. From far away, Pluto looks like a soft, faintly orange marble, with patches of cream and dust rose painted across her gentle surface. She is so small that nearly 20 Plutos could fit inside our own Earth. Yet she has mountains made of water ice, frozen as hard as stone in the cold of her distant home, and on her face, gleaming softly, rests a great pale heart, a wide plain of frozen nitrogen called Tombaugh Regio, named in honor of the gentle astronomer who first found her. Tonight, far beyond the warmth of the inner sun, Pluto drifts quietly onward, wearing her soft, frozen heart upon her sleeve, a small, beloved world, dreaming peacefully in the dim, distant, ancient dark. Beside Pluto glides her soft companion Charon, a moon nearly half her size. Together they form one of the most tenderly balanced pairs in the solar system, almost dancing slowly around each other rather than one circling the other. Their gentle gravitational embrace is so even that the point they orbit lies in the empty space between them, a quiet center of two worlds turning together like a soft cosmic waltz. From Pluto's surface, Charon would hang in the sky, large and unmoving, always above the same gentle horizon, never rising, never setting, like a glowing grey lantern fixed eternally in the dim, dreaming evening. Imagine that. Two quiet worlds turning together at the edge of light, holding each other in slow, faithful balance through the long, hushed, patient, ancient sleeping dark of the deep, dim, distant cosmos, far beyond even the Kuiper belt. In the long, dim hush of the outermost solar system, scientists believe there rests a great, soft cloud of icy travelers, called the Oort cloud. It is a vast, gentle shell of comets, surrounding our entire solar system like an enormous, quiet bubble. The Oort cloud is so far from the sun that the light reaching it is little more than a faint, glittering whisper, like starlight reflecting off a distant pool. The icy bodies that drift there have rested in deep cold for billions of slow, patient years. Sometimes, a tiny, gentle nudge sends one of them drifting slowly inward toward the sun, where it warms into a glowing comet. The Oort cloud is the soft, shadowy edge of our cosmic home, the quiet, sleepy boundary where our solar system gently dissolves into the deep, starlit dark. Comets are perhaps the most poetic of all the wandering things in our solar system. They are made of ancient ice, frozen dust, and soft sleeping memories from the earliest days of the cosmos. For most of their long lives, comets rest quietly in the cold outer reaches, dim and small, yet when one drifts gently in toward the sun, the warmth begins to wake it. Slowly, soft veils of glowing gas and dust trail outward, spreading into a long, dreamy tail that can stretch for millions of miles. From Earth, a great comet looks like a brushstroke of soft light painted across the night sky, glowing for weeks, then quietly fading as the comet drifts outward once more. Each comet is a slow, lonely traveler, painting the heavens with one long, gentle whisper before returning to the silent, distant, hushed dark. Some comets visit our skies only once in many human lifetimes, drifting softly past the sun before slipping back out into the long, quiet dark for thousands or even millions of years. Others, called periodic comets, return on slow, faithful schedules, painting the same gentle path across the heavens generation after generation. The most famous of these is Halley's Comet, which returns about every 76 years, drifting through our skies like an old, kind friend stopping by once in a lifetime. Halley has been watched by ancient kings, by quiet shepherds, by sleepy children leaning out of high windows, by you perhaps, or by your grandparents long ago. Tonight, far beyond the bright planets, Halley is drifting peacefully in the cold dark, slowly making her way back toward us once more, faithful and slow, glowing gently with her ancient, quiet traveler's light. Sometimes, small bits of dust and stone from comets and asteroids drift gently into Earth's soft, blue atmosphere. As they fall, the air gives them a quiet, glowing warmth, and they appear in our sky as meteors, bright streaks of light slipping silently across the dark. They are sometimes called shooting stars, although they are not stars at all, only small, gentle visitors lighting up the sky for a brief, glowing moment. Most are no larger than a grain of sand, yet they paint the night with a soft, brief brilliance. On certain nights of the year, our planet passes through the soft trail of an old comet, and we are gifted with a meteor shower, a slow, gentle rain of falling lights. Imagine that, lying upon the cool grass beneath a dark sky, watching small, glowing whispers drift quietly through the sleepy heavens above. And here we are now, halfway through our gentle drift through the solar system, halfway through the soft constellation of stories we have gathered tonight. We have visited the warm, glowing sun, the small, sleeping planets, the great, gentle giants, the icy, distant worlds. We have brushed past quiet moons and faraway comets, past rings of frozen lace and softly turning storms. And still there is more, soft, tender, dreamlike, drifting in slow procession through the deep velvet hush of space. Let your breath grow even softer now, like the breath of a sleeping child. Let your thoughts melt gently into the long, slow rhythm of starlight. There is no hurry, no need to follow closely, no need to remember. Only this gentle drifting, this quiet voyage, this soft river of words and stars carrying you slowly onward, deeper into the long, hushed, beautiful evening of sleep. Let us drift back gently toward the warm, golden heart of our solar system, where the sun continues her slow, peaceful glow. From the sun pours a great soft river of light, traveling outward in every direction at a steady, dreamy pace. That light takes about 8 slow minutes to reach our Earth, brushing softly across our oceans, our forests, our sleeping rooftops. It takes about 43 minutes to reach distant Jupiter, more than an hour to reach Saturn, and several long, quiet hours to drift all the way out to faraway Neptune. Imagine each ray of sunlight as a small, glowing traveler, unhurried, gentle, carrying warmth across vast and patient distances. Tonight, somewhere in the deep dark, a soft beam of sunlight is just now reaching the cold, dim edge of Pluto after a slow, peaceful, glowing journey of more than 5 long, dreamy hours. Around the sun, every planet follows its own gentle, sleepy orbit. Tiny Mercury circles the sun in only 88 Earth days, hurrying softly through the dark. Venus takes a slow 225 days. Earth, of course, takes one full beloved year, the slow turn of seasons we know so well. Mars takes nearly 2 of our years, while Jupiter takes about 12, Saturn nearly 30, and Uranus a long dreamlike 84. Neptune is the slowest of the great planets, taking 165 Earth years to complete just a single orbit. Imagine that, far Neptune still working through her first single circle since long before automobiles were invented. Each planet has her own gentle pace, her own quiet song, her own slow, patient rhythm of dance, all turning together softly around the sun in one great, hushed, eternal lullaby. The path each planet traces around the sun is not a perfect circle, but a soft, gentle oval, what astronomers call an ellipse. This means that during their long, slow journey, planets sometimes drift a little closer to the sun, and at other times a little farther away. The change is gentle, soft, almost imperceptible from a distance. It is as though the planets breathe slowly toward the sun and then ease softly back, like a sleeper drawing in a long, quiet breath and then gently letting it out. Earth's path is almost a perfect circle, only very faintly oval. Pluto, far away, traces a more egg-shaped path, sometimes drifting closer to the sun than even Neptune. So each planet sways gently in its own soft, oval rhythm, slow, unhurried, drifting in a slow waltz around the great glowing heart of our solar system tonight. The space between the planets is mostly empty, a great soft hush of dark and quiet. Yet it is not entirely empty, for it is filled with the gentle whisper of solar wind, with tiny grains of cosmic dust, with starlight drifting softly through the dark. Astronomers sometimes call this the interplanetary medium, but you may simply think of it as the soft velvet between the worlds. If you could stand in the middle of it, far from any planet, you would see only stars, deep and unblinking, scattered across an endless black. The sun would shine like a single, distant lantern. The planets would appear only as small, bright points, no bigger than the others. The silence would be complete, the stillness profound. A vast, quiet sea of dark holding the whole solar system together in one great, glowing, peaceful embrace. Around the sun and the planets, an invisible river called gravity flows in soft, gentle currents. Gravity is the quiet pull that holds you upon the earth, that lifts the oceans into tides, that keeps every planet faithfully turning around the warm sun. It is a soft and patient force, almost shy, almost tender, and yet it shapes the entire dance of the cosmos. Without gravity, the planets would drift away into the dark like petals scattered upon a wide, dark wind. With it, they remain held in their slow, peaceful orbits, circling forever in their dreamy paths. Gravity also gently keeps the moon beside the Earth, the rings around Saturn, the tiny moons close to their patient parent planets. Tonight, the same gentle gravity that holds you safely in your bed is the very same gravity that holds the entire universe softly in place. Sunlight, when it falls gently upon a raindrop or a soft mist, splits into all the colors of a rainbow: soft red, gentle orange, dreamy yellow, calm green, blue like deep evening, indigo like quiet sleep, and violet like the first hush of night. Inside every beam of sunlight, all those colors travel together quietly, woven into a single thread of light. Yet when sunlight kisses a raindrop just so, the drop bends each color a little differently, and the rainbow appears, soft and glowing, painted across the wet sky. Rainbows are gentle gifts, brief and dreamlike, fading slowly as the rain moves on. Yet they remind us that hidden inside every quiet ray of sunlight rests a whole, slow, glowing rainbow, waiting only for a soft drop of mist to set it dancing tenderly across the long, sleepy evening sky. At our Earth's poles, near the soft northern tip and the southern tip of the planet, the sky sometimes glows in long, drifting curtains of green, pink, and violet light. These soft, glowing veils are called the auroras, the northern lights and the southern lights, painted by the gentle meeting of the sun's quiet breath with our planet's magnetic veil. Tiny particles from the sun drift down along Earth's invisible magnetic lines and gently kiss the air far above the polar lands, setting it alight in soft, slow colors. From below, on quiet, snowy nights, the auroras look like glowing silk scarves drifting through the dark, like ribbons of dream pulled gently through the heavens. They have been watched by reindeer, by wandering travelers, by sleepy children pressed against frosted windows, glowing softly above the long, silent, snowy, peaceful polar dark. Some planets, like Earth and Jupiter, are wrapped in soft, invisible fields of magnetism, like quiet bubbles of unseen lace. These magnetic fields gently shield their planets from harsher solar winds, like a soft umbrella opened tenderly above. They also weave the auroras, guide compass needles, and protect the gentle layers of air below. Earth's magnetic field is created by the slow churning of liquid metal in our planet's deep, warm core, like a softly turning kettle far beneath our feet. Jupiter's magnetic field is the strongest of all the planets, vast and powerful, yet from afar, it seems quiet and steady, a calm cocoon around the great gentle giant. Each magnetic field is invisible, like a quiet song humming in the air, weaving through space, unseen and unheard, yet still gently shaping the slow, peaceful rhythm of the patient solar dance. Long, long ago, before the planets had taken their gentle shapes, our entire solar system was only a great soft cloud of gas and dust drifting in the dark. Slowly, over countless ages, that cloud began to gather quietly around its own center. The sun was born first, kindling softly into light. Then, in the slow disk of leftover material spinning gently around her, small grains began to drift together, like flecks of dust gathering on a polished wooden floor. Over millions of years, those small grains grew into pebbles, then into stones, then into mountains, then at last into worlds. Each planet was once only a soft shimmering of dust, drawn together patiently by the quiet hand of gravity. Tonight, they continue their old slow dance, born of the same gentle cloud, woven of the same patient, ancient, sleepy, glittering stardust. Every atom of every living thing on Earth was once part of an old, sleeping star. The carbon in your gentle bones, the oxygen in your soft breath, the iron in your warm blood, all of these elements were forged long ago in the quiet hearts of distant stars. When those stars came to the end of their own slow lives, they released their stardust gently outward into the dark, where it drifted for ages before becoming part of the cloud that would one day birth our solar system. So you are not separate from the cosmos. You are made of starlight, gentle and old, woven into a soft, breathing creature. Tonight, as you rest beneath your warm blanket, you are simply stardust come home, dreaming peacefully under the same patient, quiet, ancient stars from which you were once gently, lovingly born. The sun and her family of planets drift together through a much greater home, a vast, soft galaxy called the Milky Way. The Milky Way is shaped like a great slow pinwheel of stars, with long glowing arms curling gently outward. There are perhaps 200 billion stars in our galaxy, and our Sun is just one of them, a quiet golden lantern resting peacefully along one of the galaxy's outer spiral arms. Imagine that. Our entire solar system, with all its planets and moons and rings and quiet wandering comets, is only a single small candle drifting in a great glowing meadow of countless other candles. On dark, clear summer nights, you can sometimes see the soft, milky band of the galaxy stretching across the sky. A quiet river of distant starlight pouring gently through the long, hushed, peaceful evening, even though the Milky Way looks still in the night sky. Our entire solar system is gently moving through her, sailing slowly around the heart of the galaxy in a great, dreamy circle. The Sun and all her planets travel at hundreds of kilometers each second. Yet because the galaxy is so vast, this immense journey feels imperceptibly slow. It takes our solar system about 230 million Earth years to complete just one full trip around the galactic center. That single galactic year is so long that since the dinosaurs first walked upon our world, the Sun has only made one quiet loop around the Milky Way. Tonight, as you settle softly into rest, you and our entire solar system are gliding peacefully through the great, slow, glowing river of the galaxy on a journey older and longer than memory. Far beyond the gentle reach of our solar system, in the deep dark of distant space, drifts the closest of our galactic neighbors, a small star called Proxima Centauri. She glows quietly with a soft red light, smaller and dimmer than our Sun. Yet even at this nearness, she is so far from us that her light takes more than 4 years to drift gently across the dark and arrive at our Earth. Imagine that. The soft red glow you might one day see from her is light that left her hearth before many of us could remember. Around her circles a small, quiet world, perhaps a little like Earth, drifting in her own slow orbit, a possible neighbor in the great glowing field of stars. Tonight, far across the long, hushed dark, our nearest stellar friend still gently shines. Faithful and small, there are many kinds of stars in our great galaxy, each glowing in its own quiet color and softness. Some are gentle red, slow burning and small, glowing for tens of billions of patient years. Others are warm, golden, like our own kind Sun, burning steadily for 10 billion peaceful years. Some are larger and bluer, brilliant and quick, blooming brightly for only a few million years before they slowly fade. There are great old red giants, soft and immense, glowing tenderly in the dark, and tiny white dwarfs, the gentle, quiet remains of older stars, no larger than our own Earth, yet still warm with the soft memory of light. Each star is a little candle in the long, hushed evening of the cosmos, glowing in her own way, dreaming her own slow, glittering, peaceful dream against the deep, patient, eternal velvet sky. Sometimes, when very massive stars come gently to the end of their long lives, they release their soft stardust outward in a slow, glowing veil called a nebula. Nebulae are perhaps the most quietly beautiful sights in the cosmos, drifting clouds of glowing gas and dust, painted in soft pinks, gentle greens, dreamy blues, and warm golds. They look like vast sleeping flowers spread across the dark, or like soft glowing fingerprints left upon the velvet sky. Inside many nebulae, new stars are born, kindling softly from the slow gathering of cosmic dust, just as our own Sun was once born from such a quiet cloud. So nebulae are both endings and beginnings. Soft cradles where dying stars become new, glowing children, drifting peacefully across the long, hushed, dreamlike, glittering, patient, eternal, slowly turning, infinite night. The light from many distant stars takes such a long, slow journey to reach us that we are not seeing them as they are now, but as they were long ago. Some of the stars glittering above your window tonight are sending us light that began its quiet journey when ancient cities were just being built, or when the great pyramids first stood, or even when the first small mammals walked beneath the dinosaurs. To look up at the night sky is to look softly into the past, into a vast and gentle time machine of glowing memory. Some of those stars have already faded, yet their old soft light still shines down upon us, faithful and steady. So when you gaze upward, you are gazing at long, slow, ancient whispers of light, reaching you across patient, peaceful, unhurried, beautiful, infinite, drifting, dreaming distances of dark, quiet space. Among the soft constellations of the night sky drifts the bright, gentle pattern of Orion, with his 3 quiet stars in a row forming what is called Orion's belt. He has been seen in the sky by humans for thousands of years, named in many languages, watched in many languages, dreamed in many quiet evenings. Below his belt glows a small, soft fuzziness, the Great Orion Nebula, where new stars are being born this very night in slow, dreamy clouds of glowing dust. To the human eye, Orion is a calm, dignified figure, leaning gracefully across the winter sky, watching softly over our world. He has guided sailors on quiet seas, comforted shepherds on cold hillsides, and decorated the slow turning of countless winter nights with his soft, steady, kind, ancient, patient, gently glowing, eternally watchful, sleepy light. In the soft hush of the southern night sky drifts a small, glowing companion of our own galaxy, called the Magellanic Clouds. 2 gentle islands of stars floating beside the Milky Way, like quiet boats beside a great drifting ship. They are dwarf galaxies, smaller than our own, yet still home to many millions of soft, glittering stars. They were named long ago after a wandering navigator who watched them softly from quiet southern seas. The large Magellanic Cloud and the small Magellanic Cloud drift gently around our Milky Way, held by a slow, patient gravitational embrace. Tonight, far above the southern oceans, those soft cloud galaxies still glow tenderly in the dark, like little drifting candles beside a great glowing hearth, faithful, patient, and peaceful, in the deep, hushed, infinite evening of the slow, sleepy, ancient, watchful heavens. Far beyond our own galaxy drift countless other galaxies, perhaps 2 trillion of them, each one a great glowing pinwheel of stars, each one carrying its own quiet family of suns and planets and moons. Our nearest large galactic neighbor is called Andromeda, a soft, glowing spiral very much like our own Milky Way. She is so far from us that her light takes nearly 2.5 million years to reach us, traveling softly across the long, dark sea of space. Yet on a very dark, very quiet night, with eyes patient and gentle, you can sometimes see her with the unaided eye as the faintest soft smudge of light. Imagine that. With your own quiet, sleepy eyes, you can drift across 2.5 million slow, patient, peaceful, glowing years and gently meet a sister galaxy. Inside the deep heart of many galaxies, including our own, rests a great, quiet center called a black hole. Our own Milky Way's black hole is named Sagittarius A, a soft, dark heart at the very middle of the galaxy, around which all the stars slowly turn. Although black holes sound mysterious, in truth they are simply places where matter has gathered so closely together that gravity has become very, very gentle and very, very strong, both at once. They are quiet, hidden, and ancient, resting in the calm centers of galaxies like dark, sleeping pearls. Around them, the great spiral arms of the galaxy turn slowly, softly, faithfully. Tonight, far across our own galaxy, that quiet, dark heart still rests at her gentle place, softly anchoring the slow, patient, sleepy, eternal turning of every star in our home galaxy. The whole cosmos, of which our solar system is only a tiny, dreamlike corner, has been gently expanding for billions of years. Long, long ago, in a moment older than imagination, all the matter in the universe rested closely together in a soft, glowing seed. From that seed, the cosmos slowly began to unfold, gently growing larger and larger and larger, like a vast, patient flower opening its petals over an unfathomable stretch of time. Even now, the universe continues to expand, soft and slow. The galaxies drift gently apart, riding the quiet swell of space itself. Yet within our own solar system, all our worlds remain held tenderly together by the slow gravity of the kind sun. The cosmos is a great dreaming flower, opening softly for billions of unhurried, drifting, gentle, glowing, beautiful, infinite, peaceful, patient years. Time itself moves softly, but in space, time is folded gently into the long, quiet rhythms of orbits. A second on Earth, where we feel each soft heartbeat, is the same as a second far out in space, yet near very heavy objects. Like the deep heart of a black hole, time can stretch quietly, becoming slower than it is for us. Imagine time as a soft river. Most of the time, it flows gently along at one peaceful pace. But near great masses, the river slows tenderly, like water drifting around a soft, deep stone. We do not need to worry about such stretching here in our calm, gentle earth. Yet it is a soft, dreamy thought that the very flow of time itself can bend, can pause, can drift slowly through the patient, hushed, gentle, ancient cosmos. The space between worlds is not entirely empty. It is faintly filled with a gentle background warmth, a soft glow left over from the very earliest, gentlest ages of the universe. This is called the cosmic microwave background, but you may simply think of it as the slow lullaby of the universe itself, an ancient warmth that drifts everywhere, quiet and even. It is the oldest light in the cosmos, the soft hum of the universe's first deep breath. We cannot see it with our eyes, but careful instruments hear it as a gentle, even glow filling all of space. It is a soft, quiet music, playing forever in the background of the heavens. Tonight, that ancient lullaby is humming all around you, drifting through your room, your blanket, your body, weaving softly through every quiet corner of the long, hushed, dreaming dark. Some scientists believe there are many other solar systems beyond our own, with their own quiet stars and their own gentle planets. They are called exoplanets, soft, faraway worlds drifting around other suns. Some are small and rocky like our Earth. Some are great gas giants like Jupiter. Some glow warmly close to their stars. Others drift far in the cold, dark, frozen and quiet. There are perhaps billions of these distant worlds in our galaxy alone, each one turning patiently around its own kind sun. Imagine that. Somewhere among them there might be a small, soft, blue-green planet much like our own, with quiet oceans, drifting clouds, perhaps sleeping creatures dreaming peacefully under their own quiet, starry sky. Tonight, all those distant worlds turn gently in their slow, patient, faraway dance, peaceful and unseen in the great glittering hush. Imagine that somewhere far away, on one of those soft little worlds, a small creature might also be settling down to sleep tonight beneath an unfamiliar sky. Perhaps the stars there are arranged differently, painted into shapes we have never seen. Perhaps two small moons drift overhead, glowing softly through their distant evening. Perhaps a great gentle ring shines across the sky, painted by their own faraway sun. We will likely never meet them, that sleepy little creature and you. Yet you and they share this same vast, peaceful cosmos, this same soft, drifting starlight, this same quiet rhythm of night settling tenderly upon a dreaming world. Tonight, beneath whatever softness covers them, beneath whatever quiet sky watches over their long, peaceful, sleepy, gentle, dreaming, unhurried, restful, distant, patient, beloved evening, they rest, just as you are resting now. Let us drift now back gently into our own quiet solar neighborhood, into the soft glow of our familiar sun. Here, between the planets and the stars, drift small wandering travelers called meteoroids, tiny stones too humble to be planets, too small to be moons. They glide quietly through the long dark, drifting along old paths laid down by ancient comets. Sometimes they tumble in slow, dreamy spins, their soft surfaces glittering faintly in distant sunlight. Most are no larger than a polished pebble, some no larger than a single grain of sand. Yet together they decorate the great hushed dark with a gentle, quiet sparkling. They are the smallest cousins of the planets, faithful little pilgrims of the sun, drifting onward through the long, peaceful evening of space, unhurried, soft, glittering tenderly in the deep, infinite, sleepy, glowing dark. On Earth, the sun's gentle warmth weaves the slow songs of the seasons. As our planet tilts softly upon her axis, different parts of the world receive longer or shorter visits of sunlight through the year. In summer, the soft northern lands lean tenderly toward the sun, basking in long golden afternoons. In winter, they tilt softly away, resting beneath shorter days and longer, quieter nights. While the north is warm, the south enjoys her own peaceful winter. While the north slows into snow, the south blossoms in soft, warm sunlight. The seasons are a slow, dreamy dance, painted gently by the soft tilt of our world. Tonight, somewhere on Earth, summer is humming with crickets and warm, fragrant winds. Somewhere else, winter is settling in, with soft snow drifting slowly past quiet, glowing windows of sleeping homes. The soft tilt of our Earth, gentle and steady, is what gives us not only the seasons, but also the slow, quiet beauty of long evenings, soft mornings, lazy afternoons, and dreamy twilights. If our planet were perfectly upright, every day would feel similar all year long. Yet because Earth leans gently to one side, the year unfolds in long, peaceful chapters, each with its own soft mood and gentle light. Spring brings the slow waking of the meadows. Summer brings the golden murmur of long afternoons. Autumn brings the soft drift of falling leaves. Winter brings the quiet hush of snowy mornings. Each season is a different song, sung by the same kind sun, painted softly upon our gentle, slowly turning, deep blue, beloved, dreaming, eternally patient, slowly waltzing world beneath the kind, watchful, quiet, ancient, glittering evening sky. On Earth, water is our greatest, gentlest treasure. From space, our world glows in deep, dreamy blue, painted by the wide, soft oceans that cover most of her surface. Our oceans are immense, with hidden valleys deeper than any mountain is tall, with mountain ranges underwater longer than any seen on land. Yet they are quiet, peaceful, holding millions of drifting fish, soft jellyfish, slow whales, and gently swaying gardens of seaweed. Our rivers run softly toward the sea, our rains fall tenderly from the clouds, our snow gathers gently upon high peaks. All of these are slow forms of the same kind, soft water dreaming through different shapes. Tonight, somewhere on Earth, a small mountain stream is murmuring quietly over smooth stones, while a great soft tide is rolling tenderly upon a quiet, sleeping, moonlit, peaceful, gentle, distant, dreaming shore. On other worlds, water often hides in the form of soft, sleeping ice. The polar caps of Mars hold quiet sheets of frozen water beneath layers of frozen carbon dioxide. The moons of Jupiter and Saturn hold deep, hidden oceans beneath thick crusts of ice. Pluto and her companions in the cold outer reaches are wrapped in soft veils of frozen water and quiet, sleeping nitrogen. Our cosmos is filled with water, much of it dreaming peacefully in cold, distant places. Some scientists believe that even the comets, with their long, ancient lives, are made mostly of soft, glittering ice and drifting frozen vapor. So tonight, far beyond our own gentle planet, water is sleeping in countless quiet forms across the solar system, glittering tenderly across moons and comets and far, dim, peaceful, drifting, frozen, glowing, gentle, ancient little dreaming worlds. Each planet keeps her own gentle calendar, her own soft rhythm of years. A year on Mercury lasts only about 88 Earth days, swift and dreamlike. A year on Venus is just over 200 Earth days, slow and golden. Mars takes nearly 2 of our years for one peaceful orbit. On Jupiter, a single year stretches across nearly 12 of ours. On Saturn, almost 30. On Uranus, 84. On Neptune, more than a long, soft century and a half. Imagine being born on Neptune. You would live your entire human lifetime without ever seeing a full Neptunian year complete. Each planet drifts at her own slow pace, each living in her own soft chapter of time. Tonight, every planet continues her quiet calendar, turning faithfully in her own dreamy rhythm, in the great, peaceful, ancient, slow, watchful, gently glowing dance of the cosmos. On many planets, the sky wears a different color than our own soft blue. On Mars, the sky is a gentle butterscotch by day, painted by fine red dust that catches the warm sunlight. At Martian sunset, the sky glows with a soft blue twilight, a quiet mirror of our own day skies. On Venus, hidden beneath thick golden clouds, the sky glows in dim amber tones, like the inside of a warm, quiet lantern. On Mercury, with no soft air to scatter the light, the sky is forever black, even at noon, freckled with steady stars. On Titan, beneath the great rings of Saturn, the sky is a soft, smoky orange like a long, dreamy sunset stretched into permanence. Each world wears a different soft color overhead, painted gently by the unique, slow chemistry of its own kind. Peaceful, quiet, wandering, drifting heavens. The gravity on each world is different, and softly so. On the Moon, gravity is gentle, only about 1/6 of Earth's, so footsteps drift slowly, like dreams. On Mars, gravity is about 1/3 of ours, also light and soft. On Jupiter, gravity is much stronger, perhaps 2.5 times Earth's, pressing softly down. On the smallest moons and asteroids, gravity is so faint that one could leap upward and drift slowly back down like a feather sinking through water. Imagine tiptoeing softly across the surface of a small asteroid, where each step might lift you gently into a long, slow arc above the dust. Imagine drifting peacefully back down beneath a soft, starlit sky. Each world holds her own gentle pull, her own quiet, tender, slow, peaceful, ancient, kind, careful, sleepy, watchful, dreamy version of weight. On the Moon, footprints last a long, long time. There is no wind to scatter them, no rain to wash them away, no shifting weather to soften their edges. The footprints left long ago by the gentle astronauts who walked upon her are still resting there now, soft and clear in the lunar dust. They will likely remain there for millions of years, slowly fading only as tiny meteoroid grains drift down and dust them gently over time. Imagine that. Footprints quietly preserved in the moonlit hush, undisturbed by any breath of weather. The Moon is a great, silent guardian of small, soft memories, holding patiently each gentle mark left upon her, like a dreamy keeper of quiet, ancient stories. Tonight, those tender footprints still rest peacefully upon her face, glowing softly under the slow, patient, glittering, ancient, eternal, watchful, dreaming, hushed, distant stars. There are no sounds in the great empty spaces between the planets. Sound needs soft air, or water, or some gentle medium in order to travel. In space, the spaces are mostly empty, and so all is silent, quiet, beyond imagination. Yet within atmospheres, in places like our own gentle Earth, or like the soft golden clouds of Venus, or the misty haze of Titan, sounds can drift softly. Imagine a gentle wind on Titan, whispering through the methane mists. Imagine soft thunder hidden deep within Jupiter's clouds. Imagine the slow hush of a river of dust falling lightly across the Martian plains. These are gentle worlds with their own quiet songs, hidden beneath soft skies. Yet between the planets, the silence is whole, deep, and peaceful, a great, hushed, gentle, ancient dreaming, slow, eternal, patient, watchful, infinite calm hush, inside the cores of giant planets like Jupiter and Saturn. Scientists believe the great pressure of the deep clouds and quiet layers may turn certain gases into soft, glowing forms. Some imagine that deep within Saturn or Jupiter, gentle showers of tiny diamond raindrops may drift slowly downward, soft and sparkling, born of carbon transformed quietly by the slow weight of the planet above. Imagine that deep within those great gentle giants, a soft, glittering rain may be drifting down forever, each drop a tiny diamond, each shower a quiet jeweled river. We cannot see it, we cannot hear it. Yet far away, in the deep, hushed hearts of the great glowing planets, those soft, sparkling rains may continue, slow and dreamlike, through the ancient, patient, gentle, eternal, glittering, peaceful, sleepy, watchful, calm, beautiful, drifting, infinite, deep cosmic evening. The sun's gentle light gives us not only warmth and color, but also the soft rhythm of our days. As Earth turns slowly upon her axis, sunlight drifts gradually across her surface, lighting one quiet country at a time. Somewhere on Earth, it is always morning. Somewhere always afternoon, somewhere always twilight, somewhere always quiet midnight. Imagine the long, slow wave of sunlight gently sweeping across the world, brushing softly across forests, oceans, cities, fields, and sleeping rooftops. As you settle into rest tonight, somewhere far away the morning is just beginning, with birds softly waking and a kind sun easing into pale golden skies. Somewhere else, evening is already deeper than yours, with the moon high and the stars in patient procession. The world is always turning gently, always glowing somewhere, always sleeping somewhere, always waking softly elsewhere too. There are gentle days when the moon and sun seem to meet softly in the sky, and the moon drifts in front of the sun, casting a soft, slow shadow upon the earth. This is called a solar eclipse, a quiet, dreamlike event that happens only rarely in any one place. During a total eclipse, the world below grows softly dim, birds tuck their heads, small flowers gently close their petals. The horizon glows softly in tones of dusk, even at midday. The sun's gentle corona appears, glowing tenderly around the dark circle of the moon. It is a soft, sacred hush that lasts only a few minutes before the sun gently returns. To witness such an eclipse is to feel time pause, to feel the world softly hold her breath beneath the shared, ancient, watchful, silent, patient, drifting, eternal, peaceful gaze of sun and moon. There are also lunar eclipses, when our Earth softly drifts between the sun and the moon, casting a gentle shadow across her glowing face. The moon does not vanish during a lunar eclipse. Instead, she turns a soft, dreamy red, painted by the warm bending of sunlight through Earth's quiet atmosphere. People often call it a blood moon, but it might better be called a gentle moon, a sleepy moon, a quiet moon dressed in slow evening rose. Lunar eclipses are calmer than solar ones. They unfold quietly across an hour or two, glowing softly above the world. Tonight, perhaps no eclipse is in your sky, but somewhere in the long, slow turning of years, another peaceful lunar eclipse is drifting slowly into the calendars of our patient, ancient, faithful, dreaming, slow turning, beautiful, gently watchful, deep blue, beloved sleeping Earth. Tonight, far away from the lights of cities, the night sky is a soft, glowing tapestry of stars. It is sometimes called the celestial sphere, a great, gentle dome of glowing patterns. Astronomers long ago grouped the brighter stars into pictures called constellations: Orion, the gentle hunter; Ursa Major, the great soft bear; Cassiopeia, the queen; Cygnus, the swan; Lyra, the small harp. These shapes are not really there. They are simply soft pictures we have placed across the sky, like dreamy stories we tell to make the heavens feel a little closer to home. Yet for thousands of years, sleepy travelers have followed those soft star shapes home. Fishermen have steered their boats by them, and gentle children have learned to recognize their patient, glowing patterns painted softly across the great, dark, watchful, dreaming, eternal, ancient, beautiful, glittering, hushed evening sky. Our solar system is sometimes called the heliosphere, a great soft bubble of the sun's gentle wind. This bubble extends far beyond Pluto, drifting quietly outward through the dark. At the edge of this soft bubble, called the heliopause, the sun's quiet breath fades softly into the still gentler whispers of the wider galaxy. Two small spacecraft, named Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, drifted slowly outward over many decades, and have at last gently passed the heliopause, becoming the first quiet visitors from Earth to step softly beyond our solar bubble. They drift now in the deep galactic hush, carrying small golden records of soft music and gentle greetings, slow whispers from a small blue planet, traveling forever across the long, peaceful, glittering, infinite, watchful, ancient, eternal, dreaming, hushed, sleepy, gentle, beautiful, slow, glowing, deep, cosmic dark. On board the gentle Voyager spacecraft, two small golden records were softly placed, each one carrying greetings, soft music, and quiet sounds from Earth. There are soft hellos in many languages, lullabies, the song of a humpback whale, the sound of waves washing upon a beach, the gentle laughter of a child. They are tiny, dreamlike messages, drifting onward through the dark, in case some other gentle traveler should one day find them. The records will likely never be heard by any other being, yet they continue their slow, faithful drift, soft messages of kindness, floating through the long, hushed dark. Tonight, those gentle records still glide quietly outward, carrying their tender lullabies of earth into the great dreaming silence, like small glowing letters of love drifting into the infinite, patient, peaceful, watchful, gentle, ancient, dreaming, beautiful, hushed, deep cosmic sea. The patient pull of the sun's gravity stretches outward for a long, soft distance, far beyond the orbit of even the most distant icy world. Some scientists believe that the sun's gentle gravitational reach may extend up to nearly 2 light-years away. That is far enough to softly hold trillions of small, sleeping comets in the wide Oort cloud at the very edge of our solar neighborhood. Imagine the sun's quiet hand of gravity reaching out softly across that vast, hushed dark, holding her great extended family together with calm, unwavering love. Even the smallest, most distant icy traveler is held tenderly in her patient grasp. Tonight, far beyond the planets, the sun's gentle gravity continues to whisper across the long, peaceful, slow, glowing, watchful, ancient, eternal, hushed, drifting, beautiful, infinite, dreaming, gentle, soft, dark, glittering, sleepy expanse. Many ancient peoples watched the soft sky each evening and named the planets after their gentle gods and goddesses. Mercury, swift and small, was named for a quick messenger. Venus, glowing tenderly, was named for a goddess of love and beauty. Mars, glowing red, was named for a great warrior, though in our soft sleep tonight, we may simply think of him as a kind, peaceful, dreamy planet. Jupiter, mighty and bright, was named for the king of the old gods. Saturn, slow and dignified, was named for a calm, ancient deity of time. Long ago, sleepy shepherds, gentle farmers, and quiet sailors all knew the planets by these soft names and watched them drift in their slow, faithful patterns across the dim, glowing evening sky, just as we still gently watch them tonight in our own quiet, dreamy, sleepy hearts. On gentle, dark nights, far from the soft glow of cities, one can sometimes see a faint glowing band stretching across the sky called the zodiacal light. It is a soft, dreamy glow painted by sunlight, reflecting tenderly off countless tiny grains of dust drifting slowly along the plane of our solar system. The zodiacal light is delicate, almost shy, and may be glimpsed only on the quietest, darkest evenings, just after twilight or before dawn. It looks like a long, dreamy sash of pale glow lying softly across the horizon. For thousands of years, sleepy travelers have noticed it without knowing exactly what it was. Tonight, even if you cannot see it from your window, that soft glow still drifts gently across our skies, a quiet, dreamlike whisper of dust, glowing peacefully in the long, slow, watchful evening of space. Once each year, as our gentle Earth journeys around the sun, she passes softly through old, quiet trails of dust left behind by ancient comets. When this happens, our skies are gifted with a meteor shower, a dreamy rain of small, glowing meteors drifting silently across the dark. The Perseid shower comes softly in August, when summer evenings are warm and soft. The Geminid shower comes in December, when winter nights are crisp and clear. Each shower is a quiet, faithful gift, returning year after year as our Earth follows her old, peaceful path around the sun. To watch one is to lie softly upon the cool grass beneath a wide sky, counting silent flashes of glowing dust, like small, gentle wishes drifting briefly through the long, dreamlike, watchful, slow, ancient, beautiful, infinite, peaceful, sleepy, glittering, eternal evening. Far in the distant future, billions of slow, soft years from now, our kind sun will gently begin to change. She will swell slowly into a great red giant, glowing tenderly larger than today, reaching softly outward toward Mercury, then perhaps Venus. After her long red giant chapter, she will quietly let go of her outer layers, painting them softly into a dreamy, glowing nebula. What remains of her will slowly cool into a small, gentle white dwarf, glowing peacefully for many more billions of patient years. This is far, far in the future, much longer than any human story. Tonight, our sun is still in her warm, golden middle age, glowing kindly upon all of us. Yet it is comforting to know that even her own slow ending will be gentle, soft, dreamy, painted across the long, hushed, peaceful, beautiful evening of the cosmos. Despite all the immense distances of our solar system, there is something tender about how often we are reminded that we share one quiet home. Our Earth, our Moon, all the planets are bound together by the same gentle sun. The same warm starlight that paints the rings of Saturn also paints the petals of a small flower in your garden. The same gravity that holds you safely in your bed also holds the planets in their slow waltz. The same atoms that make up your gentle hands once swirled in ancient stars, billions of soft years ago. We are not separate from the cosmos. We are simply quiet pieces of it, dreaming softly within it. Tonight, as you rest, you are wrapped in the same long lullaby that hums tenderly through every star, every planet, every quiet drifting moon of our beloved solar system. Look softly now, in your imagination, upon our entire solar system, as if from very far above. The great golden sun rests warmly at her center. Around her, the small inner planets glide closely. Beyond, the wide, soft river of asteroids drifts in slow procession. Then come the great gentle giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, dressed in their soft cloud robes. Beyond them, quiet Pluto and her icy companions drift through the dim, frozen reaches. Beyond even that, the great soft bubble of the heliosphere fades softly into the slow whispers of the galaxy. Hold this picture gently in your sleepy, dreamy mind, like a small, glowing snow globe of stars. All of it is real. All of it is patient. All of it is yours. All of it is glowing peacefully tonight. Just for you, beneath the gentle, watchful, sleeping cosmos. And so we have drifted softly through our entire solar system tonight. We have gazed upon the kind sun, the small inner planets, the gentle ring of asteroids, the great gas giants, the icy outer worlds, the faithful comets, the ancient stars, and the quiet whispers of light from far beyond. We have wandered softly across worlds of golden cloud, frozen heart, glowing ring, and quiet ocean. We have brushed against the long, slow rhythms of seasons, gravity, time, and dreaming light. There is no need to remember anything. There is no need to follow closely. The solar system continues her ancient, peaceful waltz, with or without our watching, faithful and slow, soft and patient. And tonight, you, dear listener, are softly held in her gentle, glowing arms, drifting peacefully into the long, hushed, watchful, beautiful, dreaming evening of well-deserved, deep, eternal sleep. And so, slowly, gently, our long, soft journey through the solar system begins to settle. The sun still glows warmly at the center of our gentle cosmic home, pouring her old golden light across the sleeping planets. Mercury still hurries softly close to her warmth. Venus still drifts beneath her thick, dreamy veils of golden cloud. Our own Earth still turns slowly, holding you tenderly, breathing in long, peaceful tides. Mars still glows in her soft red robes, dreaming beneath her quiet, dusty winds. The great gentle giants, Jupiter and Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, still drift in their slow, patient orbits, each wrapped in their own soft cloud songs. Pluto and her companions still glide quietly at the outer edges, glowing faintly in the long, hushed dark. Around all of these worlds, countless moons continue their slow, faithful dance, painting the dim sky with their pale, drifting glow. The asteroids still float in their wide, peaceful river. The comets still drift softly along their ancient, dreamy paths, returning home now and then to leave their gentle veils of glittering dust across the night sky. Far beyond, the soft Oort cloud sleeps quietly, holding trillions of frozen travelers who have rested in the dark for billions of patient years. And beyond even that, the great Milky Way turns slowly, glowing tenderly across the deep velvet of the cosmos, surrounded by countless other galaxies drifting softly in their own quiet evenings. Tonight, our entire solar system is rocking softly, like a great, slow cradle, held by the kind hands of gravity. There is no rush. There is no worry. There is only the slow, peaceful turning, the warm hush of starlight, the gentle whisper of distant winds within distant clouds, the soft glow of moons over sleeping rings. Beneath all of this, your room is quiet, your blanket is soft, your breath is slow, and your body is settling deeper and deeper into rest. You belong to all of this. You are made of stardust, woven gently into a small, kind, breathing creature. The same patient cosmos that holds Saturn's rings, that paints the auroras above the polar seas, that whispers across the long, soft dark, also holds you tenderly tonight, beneath your familiar, beloved, dreaming, gentle, evening sky. And now, dear listener, our soft journey through the solar system gently comes to its close. You have drifted with me past the warm sun, past the small inner worlds, past the great gentle giants and their faithful moons, past quiet comets and frozen, faraway lands. You have brushed softly against starlight older than memory and felt the slow, patient breath of a cosmos older than every story ever told. There is nothing more for you to carry tonight, nothing more to hold, nothing more to remember. Let your shoulders sink a little deeper into your soft pillow. Let your hands rest gently, like petals settling upon still water. Let your breathing slow into long, peaceful tides, in and out, like the quiet sea drifting softly upon a moonlit shore. The day is finished. The world is hushed. The planets continue their slow, ancient waltz without you watching, faithful and steady, glowing tenderly in their old, patient paths. If this gentle voyage has helped you settle into rest, you might quietly leave a soft like upon this video, or follow our slow channel by subscribing. It costs nothing, yet it helps these dreamy journeys reach others who are searching for stillness, just as you did tonight. There are many more soft, sleepy explorations waiting here in our quiet corner of the night. Gentle stories of stars, of oceans, of ancient forests, of distant worlds, all whispered softly to help you rest. Now imagine, if you wish, the warm sun glowing gently at the center of all things, the planets drifting slowly in their old, peaceful dance, the moons turning faithfully through the dark, the comets gliding home again. Imagine all of it, soft, patient, and kind, holding you tenderly tonight in its great, glowing, watchful embrace. You are safe. You are warm. You are held softly by a vast and beautiful cosmos that has been waiting patiently for this very evening, just for you. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to chase, nothing left to fear. Only this gentle hush, only this slow drifting, only this quiet, beloved rest. Good night, and sleep deeply.